Okay, the first thing we want to do is cut this leader hose to the right length. This leader hose, again, this is the part that goes to the cleaner. You want the leader hose to be the same length as the depth of the pool. So you can take your pool pole, put it down in the deepest part of the pool, mark it, or I just happen to know, because I built this pool is 6 feet deep. I know that for a fact. It comes up to right here on me, just barely over my head. So what I'm going to measure 6 feet, and that's where I'm going to cut the leader hose. The leader hose, you never cut this section. This is the proper distance. This comes factory. It's 33 inches from the cleaner to the backup valve. So that you do not cut that, but we know the pool is 6 feet deep. So we're going to go to 6 feet, which is right here. I'm going to go ahead and just mark that with the float so I know to cut right there. So that is 6 feet. That's the proper length of the leader hose. I like taking this float and pushing it down towards the backup valve. That way this helps keep the backup valve suspended up in the water and not dragging it around on the bottom of the pool when it gets in the shallow. It helps keep it above the cleaner as opposed to being dragged behind the cleaner. Because when you start messing these up by dragging them around, it becomes a real problem. And these are very expensive. I guess anywhere from $60 to $100 is what people are paying if they're getting Polaris original or a knockoff brand. But they are very expensive, so you do want to make sure that you're protecting this. Okay. So this is now 6 feet. That's going towards the cleaner. Just going to push this on here. Notice the nuts on the swivel. Okay, now we're going to cut the entire hose to length, and you really need to follow these instructions. I see a lot of issues with cleaners because these instructions are not followed, so make sure you pay attention to this. All right, now we're going to install the universal wall fitting, where this part threads into the wall, and then this attaches into that. So all I'm going to do is just thread it in. All right, so now my furthest point in the pool is that corner over there right by the cleaner. So let's stretch it out. So now I need to stretch the hose out and get the furthest point in the pool, which is actually this point, but there's a bench here and I don't want the cleaner getting up here. So this will end up being the furthest point in the pool that I want to go to. So I measure past that point how far I go past my furthest point, and I want to go 6 inches past that point. So when we measure the hose, we're at 46 inches past the furthest point. So we subtract 6 inches from that. So 40 inches is what I need to cut off the end of the hose. The final length of this hose should equal 6 inches past the furthest point where we want the Polaris to go. So on this particular hose, it was 40 inches too long. So we need to take 40 inches off this entire length of hose. The leader hose is cut to the proper length, so we don't cut there. So we measure from this swivel to the inline filter needs to be shortened by 40 inches. And the way we do that is we go to this middle section, this swivel right there. We need to shorten the hose by 40 inches. So we cut 20 inches on this side, 20 inches on this side, reconnect the swivel, and then our hose should be at the proper length. All right, let's talk about our universal wall fitting and our filter screen. Now, this universal wall fitting, this part threads into the wall. I got it out here just for demonstration. But if you look inside there, you got two little knobbies. See those little knobbies? Well, this has got two little grooves. So when this goes into the wall, you turn it and you'll feel it kind of fall into place. Then you push and turn until you can't turn anymore, pull it out, and you've locked it into place. Now, if you have a filter screen here and you have the inline screen, get rid of this filter screen. The purpose of that filter screen is to catch debris. Now, They didn't used to have the inline screen. If you don't have an inline screen, then you need this one, but you need to check that occasionally. Pull this out of the wall, see if you have any debris in that screen, because on these screens, if you're getting debris into these screens, that means you have a problem in your filter. Address the cause, stop treating the symptom. If your debris is getting in here, you need to figure out why are you getting debris in there, and it's most likely a filter issue. If debris is getting past the debris screen, it will get into the cleaner, clog up the cleaner, and cause you a lot of problems. So you want to make sure this is in good shape. If it's blown out, torn, or anything like that, you want to make sure you replace it. So you want to make sure that you only got one, and this is the preferred one because you don't even have to pull it out of the wall to check it. Now this is a pressure relief system. You can tighten this and loosen this, but guys, this is pretty much set to factory. These booster pumps only put out so much water, and the amount of water they put out is made to be the proper amount for these cleaners. So rarely do you have issues in here where you need to be adjusting this. But if it is too much pressure, you will have water spraying out of here, and it's meant to do that. Don't think this is broke. If your cleaner is moving properly, and you should be getting about 32 revolutions per minute on your wheels, then this is fine. Stop adjusting this, stop messing with this. This is made to allow excess pressure come out of it. Make sure you subscribe, and y'all take care.